to dance, taking a chance.
To the Breakthrough Show. It's Shirley and Bethel. Yes, we love y'all. Start your day the joyful way. It's your weekday morning talk show inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes. And now here's your host, the Queen of Joy herself, Jessica Dugas. Good Monday morning, everybody. The Queen of Joy is here and back and really excited to be jumping into some more Project Joy with you guys. It's been an Alabama minute and now we're in Connecticut, so we got to make the minutes go a little bit faster. We always used to say things were an Alabama minute because when we lived down south, everybody would say, oh, it just takes a minute to get there. An hour later, you might get there. Or I'll be there in a minute, 30 minutes later, you'd be there. But that's fitting talking about that this morning because today in the national days, in addition to being Labor Day, which we're going to talk about in just a minute here, it is National Be Late for Something Day. Now, I don't know if I can get on board with this because one of my biggest pet peeves on the planet is when people are late. And I was feeling some kind of way when I saw that it was National Be Late for Something Day because I'm like, literally no one on the planet that I know needs to be encouraged to be late. But they did specify on nationaldaycalendar.com, they did specify towards the end about the appropriateness of being late or not being late and what that means and all of that. But I want to talk about this for just a minute because on September 5th, National Be Late for Something Day permits us to not abide by our schedules. Go ahead and sleep in a little bit late today as you have an excuse. I'm wondering if this coincides, like if it's always the 5th, I'm going to have to scroll down a little bit and read, but if it's always the 5th or if it's coincides with Labor Day every year because maybe more people are off work or something. I don't know. The holiday aims to promote the positive parts of procrastination. So for those of you who are procrastinators out there, this might be your day. I don't know. For example, those who focus more on spending quality time with customers and family versus being punctual seem less anxious overall. Now, see, I don't know about that because when I'm late for things, that makes me very anxious. So I think this is one of those, it depends on the person kind of day. But the observance urges us to ditch the clock for the day. Now, what I wanted to get to was that so the history of this day, Procrastinators Club of America, which I didn't know that was a thing. I thought there was one in my head and that I was the president of it. However, this was apparently founded in 1956 by Les Was. Shortly after the club's beginning, the committee designated September 5th as be late for something day. So that answers my question before, that it's always September 5th and doesn't necessarily coincide with Labor Day, because Labor Day is always the first Monday of September, which could be any day. So that explains that. So I want to give, there's a couple FAQs here which are interesting, and it gets to the point that I was trying to make about procrastinating and being late. What does it mean to be fashionably late? A person who arrives 10 to 15 minutes after the appointed time of an event is considered fashionably late. The term suggests that the person is busy enough and important enough that their late arrival is acceptable. Arriving fashionably later also puts the spotlight on the late arrival, since most guests will have arrived at the scheduled time. So now it's all spotlight on you, which explains some of you folks out there that I know are late often. That explains why y'all are late, because you like that spotlight happening over there. So I'm just trying to say, that's all I'm trying to say. When is arriving late acceptable? Now, this is the part that I want to get to here. When is it acceptable to be late? Arriving late is more acceptable when a time of the event is casual. For example, if your invitation says around 6 o'clock, arriving at 6:15 is acceptable. However, arriving late to meetings, performances, doctor appointments, or even work is frowned upon. Okay? It's not okay. It's not all right, you guys. All right? The article goes on to share what's the best way to be punctual. Some people have a knack for being punctual. They tend to dislike being late for events. Punctual people do several things to avoid being late, such as, now I will say this, I tend to be a very punctual person. I like to arrive early. I think it's the polite thing to do, but I also feel better. Like I said, I have a lot of anxiety when arriving late. I'm not that, I don't like the spotlight on me when I arrive somewhere. Like, please go back to your drinks and hors d'oeuvres. Okay. But I'm not necessarily, it wasn't always necessarily born organized or punctual or scheduled or anything like that. But I do a lot of these things that they talk about in order for me to be on time, because it's something that makes me feel better. So adding events to the calendar, setting reminders. Sometimes we need several reminders, because some of us like the snooze button when it comes to reminders. Also, leave early. If you think it will take 10 minutes to get where you're going, leave 20 minutes earlier to help stay on schedule. If you arrive early, use the extra time to complete a task on your phone, fill up with gas, make a shopping list, do something to fill that time, so you don't feel like you're wasting your time. So it is National Be Late for Something Day, but be cautious about what you're being late for out there, people. Okay? I'm just saying. As I mentioned, it is also Labor Day. It takes place the first Monday in September. It recognizes the men and women who labored to build this country through a time-honored tradition with roots in the coordinated efforts of the labor movement in the 1800s. We salute the American workforce. So here's the interesting thing that I find this crazy right now is that, Labor Day, you're supposed to have the day off. Like, this is supposed to be an R&R type of day, rest and relaxation. And so many people I know work today. So let me know down in the comments, do you typically work on Labor Day? Do you have the day off? What's happening in your world with Labor Day today? My husband has the day off, but we're actually going out to work later. So, I mean, but it's a choice. It's a choice. It is also, to finish out national days today, National Cheese Pizza Day. I love some cheese pizza. And I have to give a quick shout out to Pizzetta's in downtown Mystic, Connecticut, which we've been enjoying here several times, being patrons over there. They have a great vegan menu, and the pizza is fantastic. So if you're in or around Mystic, Connecticut, if you're vegan, if you're gluten-free, they offer lots of different options for different diets. Head over to Pizzetta's. They are amazing. We are not sponsors by Pizzetta's, but I am open to it because we go there enough. Okay. Let's head over to the comment section and see what's going on this morning. Jason was first here in the front row for our first day back in quite some time. Jason, it's good to see you this morning. Also, as I'm welcoming you guys, let me know how you feel about this new time. I'll tell you how I feel about it coming up here. We're starting an hour later now than we used to. So let me know how you feel about that. But good morning, Jason. It's good to see you. Iconic Dumpling is here. Good morning, Iconic Dumpling. It is good to see you this morning. There is nothing better than an iconic dumpling. It's better than a regular dumpling. I'll tell you that much. What's up, Adam Duvall from across the pond? Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you. My auntie Stella is here this morning. Good morning, Stella. It is good to see you. Thanks for the welcome back. Divine DNA peeking in. I think that's Mr. Jackson peeking in, and he says, "This is real. You're here." I am. I told you I would be here. I am here. The people were wondering, would you ever come back? I'm here. I'm here for you this morning. Stella says, I am off for my real job today, but I have plenty to do here around the house. And see, that's what I think is the beauty of, days off is even if you choose to work, it's that choice to work. It's choosing to work. It's choosing to work around the house or going to do deliveries like we're going to do later or whatever it is that you want to do with your time. I like that choice. This is weird. Second time I've talked about choice today. Keeps coming up, that choice thing, which is what we talk about here on Project Joy. Often that choice to choose joy when you might be struggling to do so. Miss Mandy's here in the audience. Grand Rising, good to see you out here. It's Monday, you guys. Project Joy is back. On today's show, I got a hodgepodge of things for you today. We've already talked about our national days. We're going to talk about where the hell I've been, what I've been doing, the road to kind of get to this moment right now. We're going to talk about a big realization that I've had over the last month or so. And some of the joy and maybe not so joy around that, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. What I've been up to recently, and then of course we're gonna end the show with birthdays and whatnot. So let me know if anybody has a birthday or anything in particular that they are celebrating today. But also, like I said, let me know how you feel about this new time. Do you like it an hour later? Do you wish it was still an hour earlier, or are you a morning suck person? Well, it's going to be in the morning regardless, because that's the point of this show, is to bring you joy first thing in the morning. But let me know how you feel about this new time. I literally sat here for 30 minutes before the show going like, what the hell do I do? Because I was ready to go. Because I've been up for hours. I've been up since 5 a.m. and now it's 9. For those doing mathing this time of the morning, that was 4 hours ago. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself right now. Literally, like, I'm ready to get out of the house, go do things that I need to do. And I was sitting here. But so I picture myself getting things, computer things and stuff like that done a lot earlier in the morning. So we'll see what happens. But it was a necessary change that needed to be for a few different reasons. So we're gonna try it out the next week or so and see where we're at, and see if y'all like it, how you feel this time of morning, and we'll figure it out. We're gonna take a quick break, you guys, and be right back after this. And we're gonna dive into some of those things that we talk about. So we'll be right back.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Today is Monday, Labor Day, September 5th, 2022. I hope you are well today. I hope you are joyful today. And if not, I hope that the show is able to bring you some kind of joy today, for sure. Let me know. Thank you. The power of daddy's down there. Good morning and welcome back. I appreciate you so much. Good morning. It's good to be back. There's been a lot going on, and I fully intend this morning to share with you what's been going on, what my joy is, what's happening over here, where have I been, what have I been doing, and where my mindset has been. So where I've been, I shared with you, we're coming up on the 2-month mark of me moving back home to where I grew up in Connecticut. We live on the coast here in Connecticut, beautiful Mystic, Connecticut. Best way I can describe to people who have never been here or like, I don't know where Mystic, Connecticut is, go watch Mystic Pizza with Julia Roberts from the 80s. And then you'll get a good idea of the area. It is an old whaling town, an old fishing town, and it's beautiful. It is just beautiful. The weather, compared to where we just moved from, has been absolutely stunning. One of the first things I said when we got here is that I can breathe outside. We couldn't breathe where we were. So long story short, I lived in Alabama for the last 13 years. I grew up here, but I left pretty early on in my early adulthood. I'd done the run away and get married thing. I left between right around 20 years old, and have lived all over the country. I've been very fortunate to have visited some very beautiful places around the country, from West Coast, East Coast, South, all over the place. And it's been a great experience, but it everywhere that I've lived has never really felt like home. And I would be really quick to, wherever I lived, to find those things that I could grasp onto that felt like home in some kind of way, whether it was living by the water or connecting with certain people that would remind me of people from home, or kind of seeking out the people that were from up north and had been to the places I had been to and loved the places I love. And that even brought me to meeting my husband, and getting married and living down south for the last 13 years with him. My husband being from Canada, I grew up in Connecticut, and I really, it was a really beautiful experience to be able to connect with him, because it really is a different people's perspective on things, people's life experiences, people's traditions and families really do, the place that they lived, the place that has had a profound impact of them, has a huge impact on on the character of the person. And so I always found myself moving around and trying desperately to connect with my home, which was here, no matter where I would go. And when we lived in Alabama, like I said, the last 13 years, I really struggled there at a lot of different times, more so than I ever let on to anybody. I mean, I had mentioned several times that I had felt like I didn't fit in, but it was even more than that. And I started to realize with a lot of the health challenges that I was having, that the discomfort where I was in my physical location was weighing heavily on my physical nature. Why? Because we know that mindset and emotions and the internal things that we're dealing with have a huge, profound impact on our physical health. But it wasn't something that I really put the puzzle pieces together. And I thought maybe that in order to feel grounded, that what I needed to do was just buy a house because my thinking was, if it's mine, I'll be more grounded. I will feel better in the moment. And so we bought our home in Florence, Alabama, which was beautiful. Really enjoyed that area. But again, there was that disconnect there. Didn't really leave the house a whole lot. Pandemic sure did help with that. And never really felt connected to the people there at all. Um, and I found myself over the last 4 years, especially having the show and now the network, um, piling more and more and more on my plate. And we're going to kind of get to that a little bit more in my big realization part of all of this. But piling a lot on my plate, putting up with a lot from people in my circle that I wouldn't typically have put up with years ago. And just watching myself change, and not in a way that I enjoyed. There were a lot of ways that I grew and became a better person, but there were parts of me that were being buried, and I really started to feel a big strain. So at any rate, when the market started changing, it was like, oh, it's a great time to sell the house. My husband was working at home. We homeschool. There was nothing holding us there. And it was a literal knee-jerk reaction. Let's sell the house and move. And when everything fell into place with that, of getting a cash offer on the home within a week, we knew that it was time to go home, time to come home here. So that's what we did. That's where I've been the last almost 2 months. Right around 2 months ago, we were doing the open house, closing on the house and everything there, and selling, and getting ready for the move. Now, the process of the move was an interesting one because our driver that was supposed to drive our stuff up there, that fell through. So we tried to get another one, and that fell through. And your girl here had to drive the van with my girls in it up there, and my son and my husband drove the U-Haul, which was a fun time. Straight drive. The drive, just to give you guys a little perspective, the drive from North Alabama to Connecticut is approximately 17 and a half to 18 hours. That's if you didn't stop for gas, you didn't have kids whining in the car, none of that. That was a long drive. Okay. And so with the limits that I have with my health, I knew that we were going to have to take more days. And so we planned a 4-day, 3-night trip from North Alabama to Mystic, Connecticut. And right before we moved, my oldest, and I shared a little bit about this on the show before we went on hiatus here. My oldest, my 21-year-old, moved out and moved the other direction across the country. Actually, funny enough, back to the state that he was born, though he didn't remember it prior to that. And so he's been living in Washington State. And so there was a lot surrounding this move. So we took 4 days to drive. And one of my favorite things to do is to meet up with people that I've had the immense pleasure of meeting through this show, through this network. And I wanted to share with you guys a couple of pictures in case you're not on my my private social media, to share with you a little bit of who I got to see and all of that on my trip. So started out seeing Suzanne Doolin, who's been a breakthrough show guest before, way back at the beginning. Really good friend of mine, Yogi, and just an incredible person. Suzanne Doolin was amazing. Saw her in Tennessee. Then this was a moment for my husband. This was completely a moment for my husband. Our good friend there, Carrie, otherwise known as Silky Silk, in the middle there, they met playing on the PlayStation Call of Duty years ago, like probably God, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, long time. Because I remember, I know it was a long time because my husband's 46, and for his 40th birthday, we did this whole, he had to work long hours that day, and I did this whole setup thing where his friends met him on Call of Duty to play it, so at least he'd have something fun to do for his birthday after work. And Carrie was there, and it was just, it was such a cool moment to get to meet up with Silky in Virginia. My dad came to visit. You guys might know him as Santa. He's been on this show before. My dad came to see us in Charlotte, North Carolina. So that was a lot of fun. Of course, my kids love to see Grandpa, and it was just really nice to see my dad in Charlotte as well. Nancy Louise, I had the opportunity to see in North Carolina as well, right around Asheville. Super fun to meet Nancy in person. She's been such a big supporter of the things that I've done on this network, and I'm just so thankful for her, and honored to have had the opportunity to meet up with her. Listen, here, my son photobombing in the background there. Harrison, man, we met up with in Charlotte. You guys may have seen Harrison on the Breakthrough Show. He is fantastic. I think he was on last season. Had a lot of fun with Harrison. And just so thankful that we got to meet up in Charlotte. Also back going, I don't know why these are in the order they're in, but it is what it is. Met up with Laura as well in Nancy. Laura Staley, of course, been a guest on the Breakthrough Show. Such a beautiful soul. Got a chance to see her and meet up with her in Asheville, North Carolina as well. Of course, one of my besties, one of the past hosts, guests, panelists on the Breakthrough Show. She's also been on Project Joy. She's pretty much been on every show that I've ever put out there. We have been co-authors in books. And she's a very dear friend of mine, Lori Ann Davis. I got a chance to see again in Charlotte. Love her so much, and I'm looking forward to her and her girls coming up to visiting here in Mystic, Connecticut as well. And then there's my husband and I and the fabulous Jeremy Witcher. Jeremy, again, another guest, another co-host, past co-host on the Breakthrough Show. It's like soul family. It truly was such a beautiful moment, and our kids got to hang out for a minute. I wish we had longer with the Witchers, and I'm sad we didn't get to meet Calvin or Theontos. He wasn't feeling well, and I was sad I didn't get to see him, but we will have to do that again soon. So it was really great to see Jeremy as well. And I think, oh no, Miss Sherry, I got to see in Maryland. Sherry Goodall, one of my soul sisters. I just love her so much, and it was so much fun to finally get to see her in person. And we connected years ago. She was a guest on the Breakthrough Show. I just love her to pieces. I was sad I didn't get to see Aaron Hall as well, but he was performing that night. So hopefully that'll be a next time thing as well. So getting to see Sherry, that was amazing. Oh, that was our new deck. That has nothing to do with people I've seen, but that's our new deck at our new house. At any rate, those are some of the people that I got to see on the trip up here to Connecticut. And it was really a beautiful experience. It was exhausting, driving between 6 and 7 hours a day to get here. But we did it. And that last day was a blur. My husband laughs because the whole time I had pretty much been following the U-Haul up here. And then that last day, he was following me. I was on like a let's get there and let's get there fast kind of thing. Also, my feelings got hurt. City of Groton, Connecticut, okay? Because we left at like 5 a.m. that last day of driving so that we could get to Groton and get our beach pass, because I wanted to have the pass to go to the beach where I grew up. It was a Friday. Your girl didn't read the fine print.
and the beach pass office was closed on Friday. So I was not happy about that. Not happy about that, city of Groton, Connecticut, but it was all fine. And we got in and settled here. So that's a little bit of the replay, the play by play of what was going on and the move up here and everything else. What I love about being home. I love reminiscing with the people. Oh, Miss Clark is here this morning. Good morning, Heather. Somebody has a birthday tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, so what I love about being home. I love that I can breathe outside. Let me tell you guys something. It was 101 degrees the day that we left Alabama. It was like a sign, a get out of hell free card. It's what it was. It was so hot loading that truck and getting ready to go. We'd ended up getting on the road really late. It was miserable. We can breathe outside here. That's what I love. I love that you guys have heard me talk a lot about my brother that passed away 12 years ago. I love that I can go to the cemetery. The cemetery is literally 2 miles from my house. I can go down there whenever I want. I love that I'm 2.3 miles from the beach. I love that I can go to the grocery store or to the beach or to a restaurant and, head over to the beach and there's my 8th grade teacher sitting on the bench. I love the nostalgia of it all. I love our home that we're renting. It's really beautiful. It's in a wonderful location. Like I said, 2.3 miles from the beach, 1.8 miles to downtown Mystic, literally to the Mystic Pizza I was telling you about right down the road. I love that there's so much to do. I love that we came here during the summer. There was music every night somewhere, music or a performance of some kind every night somewhere. I remember the first, we went to the very first music, the day after we got here, we went to music and down at the beach, and my kids were like, we want to go down and see the water. And I'm thinking in my head, see the water. Okay. They're going to go look at it. And when we had gone down there to meet them, they were literally in the water with their clothes on. Like it was epic. It was an epic moment because they hadn't been used to that. And one of my favorite things that happened since I've been home is going to Ocean Beach, which is on the in New London, Connecticut, right across the bridge. They have carnival rides over there and the huge boardwalk and mini golf and an arcade and lots of things to do. Obviously, the beach is selling point there. But we went to go leave and get back in the car, and my 8-year-old Jazzy said, "You were so lucky to grow up here. You were so lucky to grow up here." And it really has had me thinking of sometimes a lack of appreciation that we have for what we have when we have it. I don't ever remember feeling that at her age. I remember loving a lot of things that I did, but I never remember feeling, wow, I'm so lucky. But I've been able to feel that now being back. And that's where a lot of my joy comes from being here now is I feel that appreciation. I really feel that joy. And I remember on this show before leaving Alabama saying, sometimes you have to leave in order to come back. And I feel that now. I'm living that now. That's such a huge piece of the joy for me in being back. Some of the challenges. As I mentioned, it's been a very nostalgic experience of running into people everywhere you go. People that I've known since we were babies, some of my favorite teachers, some of my mentors, some people that maybe we didn't have a relationship back then, but what does that look like now? And one of the biggest challenges has definitely been with evaluating these relationships and the people in my life right now, and what that's supposed to look like here. Because for me, and I've shared a billion times on all of my shows, I'm a very nostalgic person. And I can hold on to a relationship, even if it's toxic. Um, I can hold on to a relationship and think and expect subconsciously that everything's going to be the same. And what I found, how I've described to people, what I found with the relationships here locally is that it has been very much kind of like playing double dutch on the playground. Anybody used to love jump rope on the playground, or double dutch with the two ropes? Anybody? I used to love that. It's very much like playing double dutch, where you're standing on the side of the ropes and you're just sort of, you're waiting for that perfect moment to get in. Are you even going to be able to get in? Are you going to be able to jump? Do you fit in at all? Speaking of old friends, hey, who we ran into outside of Pizzetta's. Speaking of Pizzetta's, it's like playing double dutch and going, do I fit in anymore? Do I even want to fit in? Are these relationships, do they even, because here I am coming back after 20 years. And in my mind, I'm just that nostalgic little girl that just, wants to have those relationships. And everybody's has lives here. Everybody has their families and their friends that they've had here for the last 20 years that I've been gone from, and going, am I going to be able to fit in? Do I want to? What does that look like? Is there room for me in their lives? Are we even going to like each other now? How have we changed? What does that look like? It's a complicated situation where the relationships are concerned. And I think from my perspective, again, I'm that very nostalgic person and going like, I'm cool that we haven't seen each other in 20 years. Like, let's go have coffee. Let's, and let's hang out and let's do things together. And I would love for our families to be able to connect and not hang out 24/7, but like, I would love for that connection to be there, but it may not be there. It may not happen. I might jump into those double dutch ropes and they all just hit me and, whack me in the face. That's what it is. So that has been probably one of the most challenging things. And another thing that has been a big challenge here has been the realization, the big realization that I had right literally on that last drive, that fourth day of driving, of coming here, was when it all hit me. And I want to share about it with you guys after a quick break. Okay. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to be right back after this.
Thanks for watching the Breakthrough Show Network. Today, we'd like to support our friend over at Nail Beauty by Brittany. Purchase your custom press-on Reiki-infused nails by visiting nailbeautybybrittany.com. Don't forget your discount by using the code BREAKTHROUGH. And now, back to the show.
Imagine a world where every child gets a great education. Educating all children is the only way to end poverty. This is what the Weiss Scholarship Foundation is working to accomplish. Our 6 staff members, our mentors and coordinators, who are on the ground in Kenya, are totally engaged in every aspect of our students' lives, so we can give them every opportunity for success. In just a few short years, we have already awarded 141 scholarships. We send children to high school who would have never gone without our support. And then we help them go on to either university or vocational school. We have already scaled our holistic business model to 4 locations and are ready to scale it to many more. Today it's Kenya, but tomorrow it's more countries. Please contribute what you can today. You can make a one-time donation, a recurring donation, or choose to sponsor a child all on your own for all 4 years of high school for just $3,500. Go to our website, www.weissscholarshipfoundation.org.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Today is Monday. I almost said Tuesday. I don't know what the hell's going on. Monday, September 5th, 2022. I put a link down there in the comments for you guys. White Scholarship Foundation is having a virtual fundraiser on September 20th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That link down there, you can find out all about their silent auction, raffle tickets to the virtual event. I had the pleasure of attending the virtual fundraiser last year. It was truly amazing. Highly recommend. And go and check out what the White Scholarship Foundation is all about. I donate to White Scholarship Foundation every single month, and I match it with funds from the Breakthrough Show Network as well. And so it's a pleasure to be associated with Brett Weiss and everything he is doing to end poverty around the world, starting with sending children to school in Dago, Kenya, and beyond. They're expanding. It's amazing. So definitely check that out in the comments. So good morning. It is good to see you. Happy Monday. We have been talking about where I've been, what are the joy and challenges that I have faced in my move and being back here to the area I grew up, specifically on the coast in Southeast Connecticut. So I mentioned before break a big realization that I had, and it actually hit me on the drive of the fourth day. And part of what I've been up to since I've been here this almost 2 months has been diving into this feeling and figuring out where it's coming from and why things hit me the way that it did. So I mentioned back when we were talking about the move that I had been piling a lot on my plate. I'm a very creative person. I always have new ideas, always have new things spinning in my head of things that I want to do. And I'm never short of ideas. Anybody ever needs an idea? You want a new perspective on things? I got you. Okay. I got you, I promise. Part of the problem with that is sometimes a lack of follow through. Sometimes it's too many ideas and you don't really know what to focus on. But at any rate, what I have found is that Shoshana's here this morning. I found that Shoshana's here, but also every day is idea day. Absolutely. Every moment is idea moment. What I found is that I was allowing not just those ideas, but following through on all of them, like going, I have to follow through. I have to do all of them right now, and allowing my plate to fill up and overflow to where my realization is that if I fill up my plate with all these things, if I do another show, if I write another book, if I take on another host, if I do another idea, and this is another part of this, if I allow myself to put up with things that I shouldn't be putting up with, if I allow people to walk all over me, if I allow drama to create, drama, piling plate, all of these things, I don't have to focus on how miserable I am where I'm at. I don't have to focus on how miserable I am with things the way they are. And I had it literally smacked me in the head on day 4 of my drive here. And I immediately, and this may come as a shock to some of you. Some of you have heard this. Some of you are going to be like, what? I had this moment on the way up that 4th drive. I said to myself, I don't want to do my show anymore. I don't want to do any of it. Don't want to do Project Joy. Don't want to do the Breakthrough Show. Don't want to do any of it at all. None of it. Because I had allowed the drama that had been created and all of these things that I have taken on to create all of this overwhelm. And I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. And I thought to myself, literally like 5 minutes later, because my brain goes faster than it should. thought to myself right after that, you are being ridiculous. You are being ridiculous. You need to sleep on it. You're going to get to your new house in Mystic. You're going to sleep on it, and you're going to wake up the next day thinking, Jessica, you're ridiculous. And what happened was that first night here in our new house in Mystic, Connecticut, I woke up the next day and it was all still there. All of it. All of it was there. Didn't want to do the show. Didn't want to deal with the other hosts. Didn't want to do nothing. None of it. I wanted to go sit down the beach because I have shared with you, I'm 2 miles from the beach. I wanted to go sit down the beach and I wanted to not move. And I just wanted to sit and breathe and enjoy. And it was in that moment, I was literally like, I am not in the market to deal with the drama anymore. I am not in the market to be piling things on my plate so that I could effectively listen, we are talented people here, okay? I can effectively ignore everything in my life that makes me miserable if I just pile it all on, and I allow myself to get overwhelmed, and I allow myself to ignore all of the shit that I didn't like instead of dealing with it. So what have I been up to the last almost 2 months is trying to figure out what this new life is supposed to look like here. And I kind of had decided in the last couple of months that I'm going to continue doing the things that I have scheduled for this year. I'm booked out for all of my shows through the end of the year. So I'm going to continue to do that and follow through with the things that I put out there because that's important to me. But using this time to also harness all of that creativity that I know that I have to go, okay, now, exactly. So now what? What does this look like now? What can I mold this into to where I'm going to be able to live my life the way that I want to and not purposely pile on the things and the drama and the people and unhealthy people and all of these things to ignore everything else. I've realized really quickly that one of those things that I need to do is absolutely stick to we talked about schedules before, stick to my schedule and take that time for me. I have very specific times that I do things. Within the first month of being here, I implemented new things with my hosts of going, okay, this is the timeline that things need to happen. And if they don't happen during this time, then these are the consequences of that, because now I'm going to have to dig into my personal time, my healing time. One of my big reasons for coming here was getting into that physical, that space of where I could heal physically. And I have gone on too long with allowing things to seep into that. And it's not happening anymore. So that was one of the first things I did. I was like, we are not doing this. And if it doesn't happen, this is the consequence of that. Because I have to stick up for myself. As much time as I spent taking on other people's drama and sticking up for other people, I wasn't doing that for myself. So that's a big part of it. Also looking at the Breakthrough Show Network and going, what do I want this to look like? And who is the best aligned for these projects that I want to do? I still very much believe in the Breakthrough Show and the Breakthrough Show Network, but it cannot go on how it was going on where I was. So things are being reformulated. I will tell you a little secret. Fall of 2023, it's finally happening. It's being planned. The Breakthrough Show Live, or the Breakthrough Show Network Live. Really excited about that. It's going to be happening here in beautiful Mystic, Connecticut. Lots of amazing fun things being planned and being excited about that. but the shows and the hosts and the network and how it's run, and what we stand for and what we're doing, that's all got to be molded and adjusted to what life is like for me now. And how we will not be being doormats anymore. Isn't that fun? I will absolutely save you a couch. I will save you a couch. So what else have I been doing here? In addition to that planning and everything else, I've been Double D's Chronicles is the thing that's going to be coming back. I've been doing deliveries with my husband. These delivery places have their shit together here. Who to thunk it? Really excited about that. We've been doing that together. I've also started what's going to be a growing, budding business with my daughter, Nina. We are finally selling our vegan treats. We're in testing phase right now. So we're trying out flavors of cupcakes and different treats. I made butter braids, really excited about doing those in the next couple of weeks. Everything's vegan. And we're also going to be offering some refined sugar-free and gluten-free products as well. So really thrilled about that. Have had great reviews so far. So that's been a lot of fun. And that's something else that I wanted to do as part of my work too, is really not focus on, I wish it delivered to Canada. I've had all kinds of Canada. Where else? I had a request to Belgium, all kinds of stuff. So excited about that. Yes, we definitely have gluten-free stuff coming as well. But that's a dream that I've had, that I've literally pushed down to focus on things that were not getting me anywhere. And I don't want to do that anymore. So we've been doing that. I've been doing a lot of reminiscing. I go to the beach. My 8th grade teacher is sitting on the bench. It doesn't get better than that. So much fun. So doing that, planning the retreat. We have a Sunday ritual that my husband and I have been doing. We'll go to get a vegan donut, or we will go to, get a cider over here. Clyde's, shout out to Clyde's Cider Mill, or Holmberg's, either one. Both are good. Get some cider, and we go to the cemetery to visit my brother. And I've been putting little things there, and also seeing my friend's daughter passed away and going to see her. And my other family that's there, we've been having a lot of fun with that. And so that's our little Sunday ritual that we've been doing. So that's what I've been doing here, and getting back to my special place of healing, and that I hope to be even my biggest joy being here. And what I've been up to is, even through dealing with the cold that we all got for weeks when we first got here, and dealing with other little things that have come up, I still feel so much joy. So I know that this move was the right thing for us. My husband's been experiencing it too. And that's how you know you're in the right place, is even when you're dealing with challenging things, circumstances, people, that you still feel that joy. That's how you know that you're in a good place, that you're in the right place. So listen, we got to do birthdays. Florida, I wish I could deliver there too. Y'all need to come up here. You need to come up here. Yes. You know what, Danielle, we should go to Clyde's. That's what we should do. You let me know what day works for you, and you and I will go to Clyde's. Okay. That's what we'll do. And we'll catch up and we'll have some fun. You guys, they have boozy slushies. Okay. You can get apple cider. They also have wine tasting. And they also you can get an apple cider slushie with apple cider booze in it. Okay. Hello. Boozy slushies for the win. And this is why the Breakthrough Show Live will be in the fall, because we all need to participate in boozy slushies. Okay. That's what needs to happen. So listen, we got to do birthdays today. So what we're going to do is we are going to take one more super, super quick break. And we are going to be right back after this to celebrate birthdays. So let me know if you have a birthday today, and we'll do that coming up right after this. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. Go visit my friend Sylvia Tam at vivivafoods.com. Use the code Breakthrough. They have gluten-free, vegan, all of that, granola. So good. And everything is made with purple sweet potatoes, which are really, really good for you and your health. And so make sure you visit them, vivivafoods.com. And that's a little chocolate for your Monday morning. It's time to talk about birthdays. Someone has a birthday tomorrow, and we'll be talking about that tomorrow, Miss Heather Clark. But yesterday I want to acknowledge two people that had birthdays that I missed because it was Sunday. I was not here. But two of our Breakthrough alumni, two of my favorite people on the planet, Juliet Stapleton and Haley Halleck, had birthdays today. So happy birthday, girls. It was so good to see your birthdays pop up this morning. Birthdays today, Tiffany Carter, Iris Doolittle, and Jenny Visser all have birthdays today. In the celebrities world, my best friends in my head, Freddie Mercury had a birthday today. So happy birthday, Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen. We love some Queen and Freddie Mercury over here. And Michael Keaton's birthday is today. You guys might remember him from Beetlejuice and also Batman. Michael Keaton, in my opinion, was a great Batman. Does anybody think that there was a better Batman than Michael Keaton? I'm taking a poll this morning. This is a great poll. So at any rate, we got to do our birthday song. I don't have my drum roll set up, so you just imagine a drum roll. Can you hear it? And here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Haley Halleck, Juliet Stapleton, Tiffany Carter, Iris Doolittle, Jenny Visser, Freddie Mercury, and the best Batman ever, Michael Keaton. Happy birthday to you. Yes. Happy birthday to everybody. Let's get our birthday song on. Happy birthday to everybody who's celebrating today and everyone who celebrated over the past almost 2 months that I've been gone here from Project Joy Live. Danielle said, look, absolutely not. I argue this with everybody all the time. Michael Keaton's the best Batman. You heard it here first. It is what it is. If any of you disagree, you're in the wrong place. I'm just kidding. Partly. Listen, I hope you guys are set up to have a good day. I would love for you to join us at some point this week. You can always go to projectjoypodcast.com, click the join live button, and you can join us live on air. Share what's bringing you joy in the moment for today. And I will be here the rest of the week, 9 a.m. Eastern time. I'm trying not to, I get Central. I'm not in Central anymore. I'm on Eastern time now, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Let me know how you guys feel about this time change as well. We're an hour later than we used to be. Let me know how you're feeling about it. I'm gonna grow into it. Okay, I'm here for you. For those of you who were not early birds before, I'm sorry. I'm here for you now. I'm trying to not be an early bird for you. Okay. Not Central. That's right. Yes. Michael Keaton's the best Batman. Anyway, I hope you guys are set up to have a great Monday. Thank you for joining me for our first episode back of Project Joy Live in the last couple of months. It's good to be back. I'm excited to be bringing on some new friends onto the show. And I also hope to be doing some episodes locally here as well, introducing you to some of the amazing, joyful people that I have in my life back here at home. Danielle, you should totally come over and do an episode in the morning. We'll sit on the back deck and we'll have coffee and it'll be great. Or a boozy slushies, either one. That's right. He is the best Batman, period. End of story. Have a great day, everybody. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you next time. See you tomorrow. Bye.
You've been tuned in to Project Joy Live with Jessica Dugas, your weekday morning talk show, inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes only on the Breakthrough Show Network. Binge all past episodes of Project Joy at projectjoypodcast.com. Until next time, help us spread the joy by sharing this episode, and we'll see you soon.